everybody, it's Amy again from Consortium Private Wealth. I thought I would do a very quick video today on the transfer of wealth that we're seeing from generation to generation. Now, a little bit of background, the Productivity Commission of Australia have estimated that $224 billion of wealth was going to be transferred each year from now until approximately 2035. Now, in a larger context, that is approximately $2.6 trillion of wealth that's going to be moving down the family tree. And when this money moves, it's generally not being drip fed to the receivers. It is a large lump sum cash. And we know a lot of the time that shortly after receiving lump sums of cash, we see new cars being purchased, new homes being purchased, family holidays. And I'm not saying that they're bad things to do. I'm just hoping to shed some education around some more beneficial ways to receive an inheritance or a windfall gain. Now, there are three main things that I'd like to touch on. The first one being something that the wealth distributor can do, which is distribute responsibly and do so as responsibly as possible. There's a research out there that shows 52% of adult Australians do not have a will in place currently. Now, the first thing to do would obviously be set up your will and all of your estate planning. I highly recommend to speak to a solicitor, and they might encourage you to set up even a testamentary trust as part of the will, which just gives you a little bit more flexibility on distributing to who you want to, when you want the people to receive the money, and how you want them to receive their inheritance. There's also many other financial products out there, such as education bonds or investment bonds, that completely bypass the estate and can leave an income stream to beneficiaries. So there's lots of things to think about when distributing your assets. Now, the second thing that can be done, and this is something everybody can do, and it's to openly communicate to your beneficiaries. If you know you've done your will already, you know who's going to be receiving your wealth, openly communicate with them and begin educating them on how you've managed the money, how they can understand their options moving forward, and really, mainly educate them on how to handle their finance and responsibly distribute to their children if they wish to do so, or how to invest for the future, for future generations, so it's not completely spent on the generation you gift it to. If you do have a financial advisor, it could be a good idea to even bring your children in on review appointments so that they can see how you are managing the money, and that can really progress their education journey moving forward. Now, the third tip that I have is for the person that receives the inheritance. Now, this may be received via cash, it might be property such as a house, or it might be a portfolio of shares. Now, generally, the beneficiary will inherit the cost base of whatever asset is given to them. So, for example, if you inherit a portfolio of shares, you inherit the cost price that the deceased person bought those shares for, and you also inherit the time held of the asset that the deceased person has held the asset for. So, for example, for the 50% capital gains reduction discount, if your deceased person has held shares in portfolio for 2 years, you inherit that 2 years cost timeline as well as the cost base that they purchased those shares for. So you would have the 50% capital gains discount if you were to sell those. Now, that's another important note, that if you inherit shares, you only will feel that capital gains liability at the time that you sell the asset. So if you don't sell the asset, you can hold those shares, you can hold the property, whatever it might be, indefinitely, and you won't feel the capital gains tax liability. So that really gives people that receive an inheritance a lot of time to understand or see a financial advisor and understand the tax minimization strategies that are out there, and really take advantage of those, and hopefully you're not left in a worse financial tax position than you were before you received the inheritance. Okay, so those are my three main points. Hopefully there's a lot of wealth being transferred out there, so hopefully this helps a lot of people. Until next time, see ya. Just a very quick disclaimer, the information provided in this video is provided as general advice only, and I have not taken into consideration your financial circumstances, needs or objectives. Please seek the advice of an authorised financial advisor if you would like to consider any strategies in your personal situation. Thank you.